Welcome to episode 179 of the Radio Control Show, sponsored by amainhappies.com, your one-stop RC happy store.
Hey everybody, this is Aaron Waldron from RC Car Action Magazine. I've got a tip to help your short course body last longer. Stretch a shock O-ring over the body posts. This will stop the body from rattling around and prevent it from cracking. To prevent the body from cracking around the body mount holes, use a body reamer to clean up any burrs or snags in the body mount. Use the included plastic washers under the body clip. This will stop the body clip from digging into the body and offer more protection. This tip will only take you about 30 seconds, but it will save you a lot of money in the long run. For more tips like this, check out the Short Course Performance book, available at airagestore.com.
A first for the Radio Control Show, this GoPro-equipped Stratus glider slope soars over seaside cliffs called the Grinders near Victoria, Australia. The footage uploaded by Eric Smith shows some of the amazing terrain that plays double duty as a beautiful flying site. If you think you have a small flying field, try landing here.
I've got a few new items from Revolution Design Racing products that I think you'll find really interesting. First up is this foam block set. Shorty LiPo packs are all the rage in racing right now, but they're kind of tough to fit in a standard chassis. Use these foam blocks to take up the extra room, or even to replace the ones that you lost that came with your kit. Next up is this really trick sliding ride height gauge. It uses an adjuster nut right here that allows the top rail to slide up and down, making this thing accurate to within 0.2 of a millimeter. When you're assembling and disassembling shocks, it's tough to hold onto the shock shaft without scratching it. These pliers have 3 different holes for 3 different size shock shafts that allow you to clamp down on the shaft without scarring or marking it anywhere. This handy 4mm turnbuckle wrench also has a 5.5mm nut driver on the end so that you can eliminate one of the tools from your toolbox. This is what Revolution Design calls the Ultra Cap Catcher. Racers know how tough it is to mount a round capacitor onto a flat surface. This cap catcher can be servo taped to the chassis, and then the capacitor servo taped to this cap catcher that holds it nice and securely. I've been using these new tools at the local track for quite a while now, and I really like them. For more information on these tools, check out their website at revolution-rc.com.
So what do you like best about Model Airplay News? Like us on facebook.com/Model Airplay News, and then tell us what gets your attention each month in your favorite RC flying magazine. Our editors will pick one entry to win the first video-equipped all-in-one RC airplane. Featured on the cover of our October issue of Model Airplay News, this prize package includes the Spyhawk plane, transmitter with built-in video monitor screen, battery pack, and battery charger balancer. Don't wait, all entries must be posted by October 15th.
George of Portland, Maine writes, I recently almost lost my plane when just before takeoff my left aileron stopped working. I opened the plane to find one of the servo extensions came loose. Can you tell me a good way to secure these connections?
I understand what you're saying, George. I've had that happen to me a number of times too, until I finally got wise. But we think that, you know, when we press these things together, there's a fair amount of pressure to put them together, but it doesn't take much of anything to pull them apart or snap them apart. High G's in the plane as we perform a 3D aerobatic maneuver, or even vibration over time will pull them apart from the motor. So you want to have a little bit stronger connection between these two, or something that's holding them in there, keeping them secure. Now, the first type of security that you need on that is something you can plug and unplug. Like let's say the wires to the wings here, you know, I want to be able to unplug and plug them in every time I put the wings on. So for something like that, you can either, a simple remedy is just to tie it just like this, just basically tie a little knot into it. That way when it pulls, it doesn't pull it apart. It takes a lot of pressure to get that thing apart. Another method is to use store-bought connectors, such as this one here that I have on the end here, which are easy enough to take off. And I have a couple other different types there. So they can clip on and clip off, but they basically hold this thing so that there's no way it's ever going to come apart for you. And that's perfect for wings, parts on your plane that you have to plug and unplug all the time. Now, in certain areas, you're going to want something that is permanent, especially when you're attaching to a switch. That battery connector, you want to make sure that thing never unplugs. So for that, most of the time, I will use shrink tubing. I will basically get shrink tubing, shrink it down around there. Once it's connected correctly, it's never going to come apart. That's never going to come off. Another method you can try is you can try basically dental floss. And dental floss, you just tie it right around the plug so you have a nice connection there. You just loop it right around in between the wires, and that prevents it from pulling apart. You can use clear silicone seal or goop. And what you do there is once you have them clipped together is you just run a little piece, a little bit of it on your finger and rub it across there so you have a nice little thin film layer there that locks that in together. So any of these methods will work, and they will help guarantee that your servos never come undone again.
Get our 3-DVD aerobatics package and take your flying skills to the next level. You'll wow the crowd at the flying field as you perform loops and rolls, avalanches, snap rolls, and much more. National aerobatic champion John Glazelis provides step-by-step instructions, pro setup tips, and piloting secrets that will soon have you flying like a pro. Get it now only at airagestore.com.
Head to your local hobby shop or newsstand for the November issues of Radio Control Car Action and Model Airplane News, or get it now on airagestore.com, iTunes, or barnesandnoble.com. Thanks again for joining us on the Radio Control Show, and we'll see you next time.